We're on the road to one of the best anime tournament arcs we've seen in a long time, and that tournament arc is going to be taking place in the anime To Be Hero X. To get you guys prepared for it, I've been breaking down the top 10 heroes, because in this verse they're the only ones who's able to compete in this tournament. So in To Be Hero X, these heroes, they are given the powers and abilities based off the people, the civilian, how much they trust and believe in this person, the character, the idea of them to get the job done. So social media and fandom play a big part in how powerful every person is, but each of these characters have their own goals, motivations, and desires to be heroes and to be the best hero in the world, Hero X. So them competing in this tournament, their reasonings are based on their upbringings and their very specific and intricate backstories that these writers are paying very close attention to detail too, but also because of how much control the civilians have over the power of these heroes, they lack control in their own lives sometimes when it comes to what they want. So to break down this tournament, these characters, I'm going through the top 10 heroes, talking about their entire backstory, their connections to the other heroes, all the foreshadowing, the possible fights we're gonna see in the tournament. And I already did 4 of the heroes, those being the number 10 ranked hero Lin Ling, the number 9 ranked hero E Soul, the number 7 ranked hero Lucky Cyan, and the number 2 ranked hero Queen. For this one, we're going to be talking about the number 6 ranked hero Loli. If you guys enjoy, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into To Be Hero X, number 6 ranked hero Loli. Now, Loli's story, just like a few of our other characters, starts off with her as a kid, and the number 2 ranked hero Queen, she gave this big speech that pushed for this feminism wave and movement of women superheroes being able to get the job done, do just as much as the men, that pushed more advertisement towards women superheroes for them to get more popular, thus making the second woman to become Hero X in the last 2 decades, and also elevating Queen to rank number 2. But Loli, she was one of the viewers at home who saw this speech from Queen and then became inspired to become a hero, and the first thing she went to do was tell her mom about this, that she wanted to be a hero. Now her mom, seeing her cute adorable daughter, thought she was playing, wanted to record a video, thought it was for fun and jokes, but Loli, she was serious about this, and as she grew up, she would do things to her outer appearance to make her look more tough and resilient and serious, not this little petite, brittle, fragile girl that everyone else sees. She named herself Tough Girl, and she would go out into the neighborhood, to the parks. She tried to stop bullies. She was standing up for people. She was doing everything to show and behave as a superhero. But while doing this, her cuteness and looks always got in the way of people actually taking her seriously. The way she looked factored in on how people perceived her more so than effort she puts in to actually be a quality superhero. And some of you are probably thinking, why does this even fucking matter? If you want to be a hero, be a hero. But remember, in this world, your strength comes from the factor of people's perception of you, their point of view. And if they see you a certain way and don't see you as strong, then you'll never be strong. Inevitably, she would never make the top 10 in general. The civilians in this world has that much power and control over people, just like we saw in Ling Ling's story, where his fans didn't want him to go and put himself in danger, so he couldn't even be a hero in the moment that he wanted to save someone he loved. As we saw with another character, Moon, they saw her as the girlfriend of Nice. So her superpower with her gun that could teleport her to different locations, the only location it would teleport her to is next to Nice's side. That's all the fans saw her as. It's the same with Loli, where because people don't believe in her, her strength, her tenacity, or none of that, all they see is this adorable girl, then she'll never be able to actually become powerful or someone meaningful in the hero world. And this leads to her at times wanting to change the entirety of the way she looks. She talks about becoming a tomboy, and even at one point attempts to cut off her hair, but then she comes to a realization that she loves her hair, she loves the color pink, she loves these things and qualities about her, and none of it shouldn't make people see her any less than a hero. So she gets inspired by this other hero named DJ Shindig or some shit, where he has this mask like covering his face, and she decides that's the route she wants to take, making her identity less important than the actions that she's putting in to save people. This leads her to creating this dope ass mech suit that she puts on, keeping the color pink because that's what she loves, but hiding her face so that people would take her serious no matter who's behind the mask. And she decides to go out into the night, into the streets, and just be an actual hero, save people who need saving. And she ends up seeing this girl who's being followed by this random stalker, and she jumps in to protect her. Her and this dude get into this fire ass fucking little sequence and fights this hand-to-hand combat back and forth, and this nigga slick as fuck, I'm not gonna lie, but he gets the upper hand on her. She yells at him and he kind of just backs off, which was interesting to see, but keep that in mind for other heroes and characters. But in the midst of this fight, of course, her helmet was knocked off, and the woman she saved thanked her and was told her that she was surprised to see that she was a woman underneath the helmet. This of course made her upset and sad once again, because her looks once again outweighed the job she was trying to do, which is the reason she created the mech suit in the first place. This is when Loli's dad finds out what she's doing. Her dad is a professor for a big tech company. That's how she has all the money and the time in the world to build this suit and everything like that. So he finds out what she's doing, becoming a hero, and he says, okay, if you want to do this, then at least come work for me at my lab, get things done right, build a better suit, whatever. The next step, Loli takes on her journey, and she ends up running into the girl she saved in the alleyway, Wong. Her and Loli's story, parallel in a lot of ways, are very similar, where she is into creation, building these suits and having these ideas and technological advancements and everything like that. But because she's just seen as a beautiful girl, a lot of her ideas and thoughts were shut down by the people above her. They try to make her a receptionist, just sitting at a desk greeting people. But Loli's dad actually saved her and offered her a job working under him as well. So now they're working for her dad together, and they have a goal and opportunity to build her even better suit so that she could be the hero that she wants to be. Now, they do have different point of views when it comes to Loli's dad, the professor who gave them both this opportunity, whereas Wong sees it as he kind of saved her from the box everyone tried to put her in. Loli sees it as he was never around, never really paid much attention to her. He was always focused on his work and job, that he never really took interest in her actually wanting to be a hero and to put herself in a dangerous situation, everything like that. Now, them sharing all this information to one another led to another big reveal, where Loli asked about her dad specifically, and she said her dad died when she was 3 years old, which if you watch any of my other 2B Hero X videos, you know they connect all these heroes, characters, and worlds so well that you knew this was bound to come back up eventually. So be on the lookout for that in other hero videos. But nonetheless, due to them having similar upbringings and stories about how people perceive them, their partnership obviously was stronger than ever, so they was able to make an even bigger and better suit for Loli. Now, I mentioned earlier how a former Hero X DJ Shindig was who Loli got the inspiration about the mech suit from. He's currently losing relevancy, popularity, all his hero value and points are going down, so he got dropped from his agency, and he decides to go on an attack, and for some reason attacks Loli's dad's lab for whatever reason. He has the power to make people dance and move and laugh in any way he wants, and he starts blowing shit up to smithereens, and that's the way the first episode of Loli's story ends. Now, leading into Loli's second episode, we first get a scene of Wong's stalker calling her and not saying anything on the other line, and her just hanging up. Wong and Loli, after going out for drinks and getting drunk, went back to the lab to make some more adjustments and improvements to the suit. So they were there when DJ Shindig attacked. We didn't get a rundown of the DJ's backstory about people loved him, his parties, they enjoyed him, how it boosted his popularity and eventually made him the #1 hero. But then time passed, he faded away into a land of obscurity, tried to make a comeback, but people just didn't care anymore, and this led him to getting dropped by his agency, his trust going all the way down. So he meets the Spotlight organization, who is like the big bad evil group of this entire show, and they basically tell him, we'll help you get get your fame back, your glory, if you do something for us. So the mission they gave him was to go and break into the Glimmer lab, see what they up to, the new technology, what they got going on around there. And this seemed easy for him to do, seeing as his power gives him the ability to mind control people, have them do whatever they want while they think everything is normal. They're having fun, enjoying themselves. They're really doing whatever he wants them to do. Unfortunately for him, Loli and Wong is at this lab, and Wong sees him, and she believes that he might be her stalker, because once again his face is hidden. He's the one who inspired Loli to hide her face. So for her being drunk, she goes and attacks him, thinking he was the stalker who called her earlier, who followed them to the bar when they got drinks, who followed her through the alley when Loli first saved her. So she ends up attacking him, and just when he's about to put her down, Loli comes in for the save, and we get once again another epic fight scene. Loli going against the former #1 hero DJ Shindig, and she's getting the upper hand on him at first, but then fear and revenge completely takes over, and we see why he was a former #1 hero as his real power comes out, his true strength, and he starts to push Loli back. He's sending her flying all across the lab, crashing into the wall. But this is where the new improvements and adjustments to Loli's fighting style, her suit and everything like that comes in handy, where she pulls out this new mechanical bat, basically sends this nigga flying, puts him down once and for all. Following this, her dad comes to the lab to see what went on, because he wasn't here when everything went down, and they brought the #4 hero Ghostblade with them. Now something interesting to take place within this episode is Ghostblade and Wong lock eyes. As we already can see, they have very similar hair color, so it's looking very likely that people believe that he was the person stalking her this whole time, who called her in this episode, and that he could be her dad. And we also see that Uncle Rock, Yang's uncle that is, from the ESO video I made, you guys go check that out, is in charge of MG agency that is over Ghostblade. So Ghostblade is the character I'm gonna do next, and that's just something relevant to keep in mind, because we know Uncle Rock is basically Aizen level mastermind at this point, the way he set up his own nephew to gain power and control and put him into the top 10. So that's just something to look forward to and keep in mind. But Loli, she overall had a pretty good story, another pretty deep one about people's point of view and perspective of her, and not letting that dwindle what she wants to achieve, her goal, and that paralleling Wong's same situation, where people's perception of how she looks tried to stick her in a specific role of what she's quote unquote supposed to be doing in society. They created a power duo with one another, helping one another achieve their goal at the same time, working hand in hand. Once again, she was inspired by Queen as well, so there's a big connection with that. She's currently with MG, with Ghostblade, under Uncle Rock, and under Yang. So all of them being connected, that should come back full circle when the Hero X tournament comes around. But if you want to see all the other foreshadowing connection of these characters with one another, like I said, I made a video on Lucky Cyan, Queen, ESO, and Lin Ling the Commoner already, so you go check out those videos. And up next, Ghostblade, I think his second episode just finished. We still have the Johnnies, Ahu, Dragon Boy, and last but not least, the current mystery Hero X. I'm pretty sure he only gets one episode, and it's the last one of the season, so you guys can be on the lookout for that. As usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe though, and I'm out.